The KD podcast starting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
What you saying, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Rough Diamond here. Hope we're all having a good one. Welcome back to another video. Incoming disclaimer: like most leaks, you've got to take them with a pinch of salt. But after I saw this post, I thought it had some weight to it, mainly by the way it was written. It comes from a former Rockstar employee. He talks about a lot of things that all seem pretty legit and you could see happening in the GTA world, but it could all be a ruse. But the user could have taken all the obvious bits from past leaks and rumours and then written and presented them in a way that makes them sound legit. But I'll let you be the judge of that. I'm going to read through what he posted and then comment on the bits I thought that were useful and worth talking about. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to quickly read a post I saw on Reddit talking about the potential release date of GTA 6. Stay tuned, it could shock you. Right, let's get into it. So this is what I'm going to read through. This was the post on Reddit by Gaming Leaks and Rumours. It was quickly taken down quickly after. AMA while you can. So this is the post. It was on Reddit. It's been screenshotted. It was taken down quickly after. It was posted by Gaming Leaks and Rumours. I'm going to start at the top and read through. Let's see what it's saying. I did QA testing for Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 6. The latter started pre-production in 2014, I believe. I was using a PS5 dev kit. The game entered large-scale development sometime around late 2016, during the time frame Rockstar began marketing Red Dead Redemption 2. Half the studio went full force on Red Dead Redemption, another half on GTA 6. That all sounds pretty real, really, but we could all guess that. I could have written that up on Reddit and said that's the truth, because it all kind of fits into the time frame. It makes sense. Some background first. Red Dead Redemption 2 was a huge project for Rockstar, and apparently a ton of morale was lost. The game makers weren't even sure if they were making a game that was fun to play, as the studio heads kept pushing everyone to incorporate all these state-of-the-art immersive qualities and attention to detail, especially in the wildlife and visual department. Overall, Red Dead Redemption 2 was a daunting project that sucked the soul out of just about everyone. However, the Rockstar guys were pretty adamant about returning to the series and revisiting the Vandalin legacy, they called it. They were very fond of the story they had created for Arthur Morgan. It was essentially their soul game. But Red Dead Redemption 2 was also sort of seen as a test mule for GTA 6. Even though a ton of passion and blood was put into it, and the producers behind it were more than confident in it being a critical success just off brand and hype alone. They ultimately knew a techie game had to be made before GTA 6 just to see where the company's footprint was in the next gen sphere. Rockstar knew GTA 6 wouldn't be feasible on PS4 and Xbox One if they wanted to pull off a generation defining GTA title that pushed the bar. They also had Red Dead Redemption 2 on their hands. All of that I've just read out kind of makes sense, really. Sounds like a great story. Could be true. We've got to be skeptical about it. I could honestly go on Twitter, write a story like that and make people believe it. So you've got to keep that in the back of your heads. But it kind of does make sense. As I said, it fits into the timeline. GTA 5 was also kind of seen as their main line GTA since its original came out on the PS3 and Xbox 360, but had a ton of staying power even today as we're approaching the 9th generation. I overheard some mates at the studio joking about GTA 5 being a one-man casino for Rockstar, the game that just keeps on giving. Anyways, Red Dead Redemption 2 engine is sorta a predecessor to GTA 6. You might have noticed just how amazingly crafted and realistic the volumetric clouds, I think I said that right, were in Red Dead Redemption 2's skybox, despite only ever being able to take in the skies in one mission, the hot air balloon one. This is because GTA 6 is a rusing building of the skybox in Red Dead Redemption 2, since the game has a heavy emphasis on air travel. I've flown a military jet in the game called the Sun Siege, and the world from above is truly a marvel. What Rockstar managed to achieve is extraordinary and will push the open world genre to unseen limits. It almost feels like a privilege being able to play the game even in an unfinished state before the world is ready to experience it. The game on ground level is still in early stages and wasn't all that pretty. I can only imagine the final product though. All the main roads and streets were laid out, but not everything was completed or fully detailed. Lots of bland geography here and there. The artists still have a lot of work to to touch up. Once again, the same goes for that paragraph and the paragraph before. You could all make this up really, couldn't you? I'm going to talk about that one-man casino for Rockstar, and that's going to be on the next post. I'm going to read from Reddit because it's quite an interesting conversation, but it's true. It is a money grabber for Rockstar GTA 5, and they obviously want to do the same with GTA 6, but why would they do it so soon? But that's a conversation for in a minute. But the map is huge, like stupendously huge, hence the game's emphasis on air travel. It makes GTA 5 look like a schoolyard playground. There are an array of atmospheric effects that bring out the life in everything. Light pollution, hurricane winds, morning fog, etc. I've never seen an open world game this realistic before. I said before in past videos that I really feel like Red Dead Redemption 2 was kind of a testing ground for GTA 6 to see what they can pull off, and it was amazing. The scenery was great, but there's one thing that kind of these developers, open world developers, haven't done yet, is these huge cities incorporated with landscapes. You get open world landscapes that go on for ages. Look at Ghost Recon. There's loads of them out there, but you don't have many games with huge buildings that kind of span most of the map. And I really feel like GTA 6 will incorporate that into the game. Look at snow just at Christmas. That just happened on GTA 5. They introduced it, see if it would work, and you know it's going to be in GTA 6. Like the morning fog, how cool is that going to be? You can imagine, as I said, they used Red Dead Redemption as a tester, see if they could do the animals, see if they could do the hunting, see if they could do the morning mist, if they could do fog, light pollution, winds, rain, snow, and they've done it all. So for next gen console, you just can imagine what it's going to look like. Red Dead looked awesome on Xbox One. Imagine what the next gen game from the publisher studio could release. It'd be ridiculous, and that's what we're getting with GTA 6 hopefully. But don't forget, this is still a leak. Map. The playable game territory encompasses two major cities. Carcer City, which is sort of this dirty East Coast area based on Boston, MA, and Vice City based on Miami, Florida. Every single county is named as well. I can't remember the names right now. I think Scout County was one. The game is also divided into 3 states. I spent more time in Carcer since I found it to be more interesting city. It is however easy to get lost in since a lot of the roads are so spirally and don't always follow a classic grid pattern. The satire surrounding some of the historic US landmarks I discovered got a laugh out of me. I encountered some deviant statues in the Charlestown knockoff area. I was told a historic tour would be a side attraction in the game. Also fast travelled via Blue Line train, which took me to the airport area. A few things I want to talk about here. I mentioned kind of Vice City would be included, which would be Miami. I didn't really think of the Boston area to be introduced, but it kind of makes sense. I really do hope they do New York, but going on this, it could be surrounding areas, having Miami as the main city and then the others the side cities, smaller cities. But a huge city like New York would be awesome. I have spoken about that in another video, so make sure you go and check that out. Just go and check out my past videos, be there somewhere. But I like the idea of this. Sounds pretty cool. And the next thing I wanted to talk about, well, they talk about satire, talk about Charlestown knockoff area. So this is what Rockstar and GTA do well, is take true to life places and just take the piss out of them really. And the next bit I wanted to talk about is the fast travel. I also fast traveled via Blue Line train. If the map is as big as they're saying, fast travel is going to be a thing. They didn't really do fast travel. Well, they haven't really done fast travel in GTA before, but with maps this big, they're going to have to do it. Like Red Dead Redemption, it was great riding a horse, but after a while it got so boring just going up and down on a horse. You want to get to A to B as quick as possible, and fast travel could be the way in GTA 6. There's also an abundance of towns, shanties, waterfronts, suburbs, hideouts, and wildernesses between the two cities, and a military base in the Florida region where I stole my jet. I did a couple of flyovers, but I didn't get to digest the map in its entirety on foot. If you fly up high enough, you get the atmosphere bloom effect, think Google Earth. The countryside sort of transitions from Massachusetts-esque farmland and seaside, fishing in a mini game, didn't get to play it. Stretches of red oak forest and freeways, treading through fields and towns to marshy grasslands and eventually swampy Florida countryside, not unlike the Bayou from Red Dead Redemption 2, just was bigger and less misty. So that's what I was going to mention and I've touched on briefly earlier. Red Dead Redemption did a great great job of the transitions between areas, going from snow to swamps and all that. It just seems like it was real life, taken in aspect 2:1, but it really did feel like you were transitioning between towns, and this is what they're talking about there. It's a very long and gradual transition between the two cities, but it's a little awkward traveling from Boston to Miami without any other major US cities in between, save some small towns. It's still well realized even in an unfinished state. There are also small chunks of the islands based on the keys, dubbed the chain in GTA 6 world, connected via a long highway based on the 7-mile bridge. I had a lot of fun trying to survive a cop chase while crossing the entire bridge, which is really only like 2 miles long in the actual game. The aesthetics of VC areas is very similar to the Bayou and the Guruma from Red Dead Redemption 2. Awful pronunciation on my behalf. Again, think Test Mule. The water effects are on par with Sea of Thieves, just stunning. You can't lie, the Sea of Thieves sea was amazing. There is underwater exploration as well, but I didn't spend too much time below the surface. Overall, the map design is the most authentic yet in Rockstar's game. It doesn't feel as gamey as Red Dead Redemption 2 or GTA 5's, where biomes felt compressed next to each other. They really went all out and it shows. I felt very overwhelmed exploring such a huge and richly detailed game world. I can't even remember everything. So many roads and huge spaces. It'll take many long hours to memorize this map without replaying on the radar. So that's all pretty cool. It all does make sense. I'm going to look for a quick leaked map now. So after reading that, I thought I'd seen a leaked map that sounded very similar, but not really. If you just look through these, this is kind of the whole of the states compressed. South America, Mexico, Vice City, Miami, New York, Vegas, San Francisco, Los Santos, LA. There's so many potential leaked maps out here, and the only reason I say that is because the bridges, that's what he was talking about. Google leaked maps if you want to have a look at these.